Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are tackling, well, a pretty fundamental macroeconomic puzzle. We're looking at the vital difference between gross domestic product and net domestic product. I mean, we hear about GDP literally all the time on the news, right? But is it actually giving us the full picture? Today, we're going to look through what I like to call the wear and tear filter to uncover the real value of an economy. We're going to keep this fast, focused, and totally clear.
To really ground this idea right out of the gate, just ask yourself, is your gross salary what you actually take home? Yeah, of course not. We've all felt that pain, right? Seeing that massive, beautiful gross number on an employment contract, only to realize that taxes and deductions take a huge bite out of it before it ever hits your bank account. Well, you can think of gross domestic product exactly like that gross salary before any of those deductions happen. It's this big, theoretical total of everything produced within an economy, but it's not necessarily the final practical number that we actually get to keep.
So what's the actual core mathematical difference between a gross measurement and a net measurement? Honestly, it all comes down to one single super powerful concept: depreciation. See, gross product completely ignores depreciation in its estimation of domestic output. It just happily counts everything up, no questions asked. Net product, on the other hand, makes an explicit allowance for it. It basically acknowledges that, hey, producing all these goods and services actually cost us something physical along the way.
Now, if you want to use the formal economics term, depreciation is known as the consumption of fixed capital. Basically, it is the portion of the economy's stock of plants, machinery, equipment, the whole shebang that gets used up or just simply wears out during the production process over the year. Think of it as an active, totally unavoidable wear and tear filter. Like every single time a factory churns out goods, its machines get a little older, a little more worn down. Depreciation is just the silent, ongoing cost of doing business that literally eats away at the value of an economy's machinery. Okay, so the crucial point here, the master formula, if you will, is that net domestic product, or NDP, simply equals gross domestic product minus depreciation. If you take that big, impressive gross number that makes all the flashy headlines, and you subtract the wear and tear on the machines that actually built it, you finally arrive at the net basis. It's literally just a simple subtraction problem. But honestly, it completely changes how we evaluate the true underlying health of a nation's economy.
Let's actually put this into perspective with a simple, out-of-the-box analogy. Imagine 50,000 rupees. Let's say you just bought a brand new, absolute top-of-the-line smartphone for exactly 50,000 rupees. Fresh out of the box, right? Not a single scratch on the screen, the battery is at absolute peak performance. That untouched, theoretical perfection, that represents our gross product. It is the total value right at the starting line, before reality sets in.
But let's see what happens next. You start with that shiny new phone, representing your 50,000 rupee GDP. Now, fast forward through 1 year of heavy everyday use. You know how it goes. You drop it a few times, the screen gets kind of scratched up, and the battery capacity definitely drops from all those recharges. Well, that physical wear and tear represents 10,000 rupees worth of depreciation. Because of that, the true remaining value of that phone is no longer 50,000. Actually, scratch that, it's only 40,000 now. And that 40,000, that is your net domestic product. It's the true, realistic net value that's actually left over after accounting for a year's worth of wear and tear.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. If a country's GDP is just booming, putting up these crazy record-breaking numbers, but its factories, its roads, and its machinery are literally falling apart to achieve it, I mean, how rich are they really? Net domestic product reveals the actual truth here. It reminds us that we can't just look at what we've produced, we absolutely have to account for what we wore out to produce it. So definitely keep that wear and tear filter in mind the next time you see those big economic headlines. Thanks for joining this explainer, and, as always, keep questioning the numbers.